Good morning, folks. Today is May 10th, 2022. This is the First Church of Mars, and I'm Pete Smith. Today's reading from Sarah Young's book, Jesus Calling, for May 10th. Do not resist or run from the difficulties in your life. These problems are not random mistakes. They are hand-tailored blessings designed for your benefit and growth. Embrace all the circumstances that I allow in your life, trusting me to bring good out of them. View problems as opportunities to rely more fully on me. When you start to feel stressed, let those feelings alert you to your need for me. Thus, your needs become doorways to deep dependence on me and increasing intimacy between us. Although self-sufficiency is acclaimed in the world, reliance on me produces abundant living in my kingdom. Thank me for the difficulties in your life, since they provide protection from the idolatry of self-reliance. And our references for today are John 15:5, 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 8 and 9, and Ephesians chapter 5, verse 20. Let's take a look at those. John 15:5. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me, and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. Oh, wow. And 2 Corinthians 1, verse 8. We do not want you to be unaware, brothers, of the hardships we encountered in the province of Asia. We were under a burden far beyond our ability to endure, so that we despaired even of life. Indeed, we felt we were under the sentence of death, in order that we would not trust in ourselves, but in God, who raises the dead. Some serious stuff there. And Ephesians chapter 5, verse 20. Always giving thanks to God the Father for everything, in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. So, what are we talking about today? I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. So, I speak to the Martians today. Those humans that have made it to Mars. He is the vine. You are the branches. You know, it's going to be so easy, not easy, but the big pitfall of settling on Mars is going to be the fact that it's going to feel like whoever's there first settling is going to be so dependent on the people of Earth, for sustenance, to bring what they need up there, to continue life up there. It's just the most basic thing. It would just be totally at the mercy of the people on Earth that are sending the starships with the food and the supplies and the equipment necessary to survive, just to survive. So the people on Earth have total control and power over those that are newly settled on Mars. And it's going to be difficult to realize that Jesus is who we must be dependent on. Because yes, the humans are the ones coming up to resupply on a spaceship, but Jesus ultimately is in charge of what is decided. And so, I guess what I'm saying is, it's going to feel like Earth is the vine and Mars is the branch, trying to reach out and survive from the vine or off the vine. And Mars is kind of like the fruit, trying to bear fruit from Earth. But Jesus says, apart from me, you can do nothing. Apart from me, you can do nothing. So, I guess we just have to remember, and keep in mind now, here on earth, that what we do here and what we allow here, keeping Jesus in our lives here, keeping God forefront in life here on earth, will ensure that if and when we do go to Mars or elsewhere, that we will take God with us. The laws that we create in order for society, a Martian society, to function, will we base them on God? Will we base them on Christian values? Will we base them on secular values? That's the question. So it's all important what we do here that's going to affect what happens up there. Because the people up there in the beginning, until Mars can be self-sustaining, are going to be 100% dependent on Earth and on the people of Earth and whoever's making the decisions on what can happen up there, what can be done. I mean, if the people on Earth said, you people on Mars have to stand on your head for the next 24 hours or we're not going to bring you any fuel, they would have to do it. They would do it because it's survival. It's the most basic. It's going to start off as the most basic human thing. Survival. And so we have to decide now what's going to happen up there. What kind of government is it going to be? What are we going to allow? What are we going to say the rules are, the freedoms are? Who's going to decide that stuff? So, let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 1. It's interesting that it says, "We do not want you to be unaware, brothers, of the hardships we encountered in the province of Asia." I just substitute Mars for that. "We do not want you to be unaware, brothers, of the hardships we encountered in the province of Mars. We were under a burden far beyond our ability to endure, so that we despaired even of life." They had to just light. I mean, that was the only thing. They were just so burdened with just surviving. "Indeed, we felt we were under the sentence of death, in order that we would not trust in ourselves, but in God, who raises the dead." So ultimately, we still must trust in God, not man, not the humans, even though we will be fully dependent on them. And it's kind of like that now, isn't it? You want to feel like, well, I have to do it this way because I'm at the mercy of the government, or I'm at the mercy of society, and I won't survive if I don't go along with what they say. And we have to realize that's not true. The power is not in the government. It's not in society. It's not in the rules and regulations. It's not in other men. It's in God. The power is in God, and we must remember that. And lastly, Ephesians chapter 5, verse 20, "Always giving thanks to God the Father for everything in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ." So give thanks today. Give to Caesar what is Caesar's, but give to God what is God, what is God's. And what is God's? Your life. He gave that to you. That wasn't something we did as humans. I mean, we did the bumpity bump thing, yeah, but ultimately, who created life? So who deserves that thanks? Who do we owe that to? And you may be like, well, I didn't ask to be born. I hate this life. This life sucks, you know. I didn't want to be born in the first place, so why should I thank God? Well, I know life can be extremely, extremely difficult, and you can feel like that, like, I didn't ask for this. But maybe if you just take a step back and say, I didn't ask for it, but I have it. And I can do two things. I can be angry and I can hate God for giving me life. Or I can say, hey God, you gave me life. I'm turning it over to you now. You're in charge. I'll do whatever you say. I'll do what you want. Well, that kind of makes it a little bit easier, doesn't it? To realize that, hey, just turn it over. You're absolutely right. You didn't ask for it, but you got it. So turn it over. See how it goes. Anyway, that's SpaceX out there in the distance. And, you know, Elon Musk does have plans for settling Mars. And, again, he's not doing it because he wants to play with rockets or just be the guy who landed on Mars. He actually feels that it's necessary for human existence to become multiplanetary, a multiplanetary species. And I don't know, I can't say I, at this point, agree or disagree. There's a lot of arguments about whether we should or shouldn't, and maybe I'll get into that in another video. But at least my feeling is that his intentions are good. He does believe that it needs to be done. And I'm just saying, let's take God with us on that journey. This is Pete Smith. God bless. Thanks for listening.
PQS Self-Express.